do you think is the biggest secret being kept from mankind? Story 1. That there are people in the world who are richer than the known richest people in the world. If you are that rich, you can afford to be anonymous too. I'm not saying that Jeff Bezos isn't rich. I'm sure he is. I just believe that there is a tiny group of people that have more wealth than Bezos, that they've used that wealth to hide the fact that they are that wealthy from the world. For all the people bringing up Putin, the Saudi royal family, or the ancient royal families of Europe, I'd like to say, if you know their name and you know that they are rich, they don't count as being one of the secret wealthiest people now, do they? Opinion: absolutely. Many assume the richest people are on the Forbes list, but Forbes clarified that they focus on individuals, not multi-generational families or royals. This means the real wealth often lies outside their rankings. Story 2. Not so much a secret, but I think there are events that happened in the past we'll never know about that would blow our minds. Same thing for people who were interesting, incredible, unique, super talented, etc., that were never documented. Recording history has always been shoddy at best, especially the further back you go. I bet even if we went back 150 years, there would be things that occurred that would be historically incredible, but since they weren't recorded, we'll never know about them. Opinion: Stephen Jay Gould pointed out that he cares more about the fact that many equally talented people have lived and unalived in cotton fields and sweatshops than about the specifics of Einstein's brain. It's a fact that there are many wasted talents in humanity due to lack of opportunity. Story 3. When I was younger, I read a story in the news of a company that had come up with a bacteria that they would put into your mouth. This bacteria was harmless to people but ate the bacteria that damaged our teeth. It would have destroyed the dental industry. For some reason, I never saw it again. Opinion: They were developing a medicine that would bind antibodies to nicotine, making them too large to enter the brain, potentially wiping out the tobacco industry. I haven't heard anything about it in a decade. Story 4. That most conspiracy theories are actually the conspiracy itself, that certain parties are creating crazy conspiracies to confuse the masses between reality and fiction, to make them more easily controlled or manipulated. Opinion: I heard the Air Force actually used aliens to cover up various aircraft tests. Story 5. That with all of the alliances between nations, trade deals, economic policies, mission statements, amnesties, backroom dealings, spy networks, wars, etc., the powerful don't have the amount of control or vision that we like to believe they have. The big secret is that it's all a lie. The only thing holding civilization together is that the vast majority of people think that even though the powerful are corrupt, they are at least competent to hold civilization together. They are not. 2020 is just a taste of that reality. Opinion: That's no secret. Trust in elites is at an all-time low. Story 6. The next possible Earth-ending force. There's a very strong possibility that NASA and the space industry know what it is and when it will happen, but won't inform the general public until it passes altogether, or if there is absolute certainty it will occur, minutes before it happens. It is because there would be literally nothing we could do about it, and they would not want to cause major havoc in our last minutes alive. Edit. By space industry, I was primarily thinking of space programs in other countries, e.g. Russia, India, etc., and not private companies like SpaceX, which have less focus on researching space itself and more focus on transporting space. Opinion: If there's truly nothing we can do about it, why even bother telling us? Let us go on with our lives until It all suddenly ends. Story 7. Not really secrets, but we will never solve climate change. Not for lack of technology, simply because humans are unlikely to adopt a new way of doing things in time to stop it. Every major company in the world is deep in debt, and their infrastructures are flawed. This means that if you pull back the curtains far enough, you realize they are all being held together with duct tape and bubblegum. Opinion. Yeah, and this illusion of stability can crumble very quickly. Story 8. Prehistory. This is very fringe, but I like to think it's true. So we have ancient sites in Turkey that are 12,000 years old and made with stunning craftsmanship. Carvings of procession of the equinox, which is an absurdly minor detail that would be near impossible to know of back then. Writings of Atlantis being swallowed by the sea. Some scientists say there was a great cataclysm that hit the reset button on a well-formed civilization. Then boom! Thousands of years later, civilization comes out swinging, building massive monoliths we can't replicate today. More carvings of astronomy that would be near impossible to know of. This is worldwide, by the way. Dynastic Egypt built the pyramids on top of gargantuan foundation stones that are arguably a bigger mystery than the pyramids themselves. It said a global civilization comparable to our current one existed and was destroyed, and what we think was the start of ours is actually a continuation of the previous one that used what knowledge was passed down until we could start again. Somewhere out there, ancient bloodlines have recorded this and have deep knowledge of the world that was, and use it to hold influence over us now. Totally a theory. I know there are holes and arguments against it. It's just super fun to think about. Opinion. I'm not gonna lie, this sounds like a story out of an Assassin's Creed game. Story 9. That we do not know it all, and that we will never know it all. Mankind only knows what mankind has been designed to know. Just like the human eye can only see what the human eye is capable of seeing. The eye cannot see what a telescope can see, and it never will. Opinion. I think it's important to recognize human limitations. I've seen too many people share opinions without realizing they're coming from a very limited perspective, their own. Story 10. I am an anti-conspiracy theorist. I believe there is no higher power that controls everything, nor that everything is their plan. On the contrary, I believe that nobody has an effing idea of what they are doing. Nobody has real power. Nobody can really control anything. Everybody feels that the world is led by somebody or something else. Everybody does their best to change things. Maybe also for their interest, but they feel that everything is bigger than them to really be in full control. They only manage to make small meaningless changes in their limited area of influence, which they feel is too small to fully meet their goals. No matter if you are the CEO of a small company, Bill Gates, a rich sultan, a king, or a small mayor. This is true at any level of the society and of the world. Almost everybody feels like an imposter at their place. They're all right. We're a beehive without a queen bee, a ship without a captain, a train without a machinist. At the higher level, somebody must have understood this, but they are far from telling everybody. Opinion. I disagree. Many in power are sociopaths who don't experience imposter syndrome. With enough money, you can shape the world. Money can buy public opinion, and if you rally the masses, you gain total control. Story 11. People who are secretly alive but unalive for the public life and vice versa. Opinion. There must be quite a few like this. I won't name names, but I have my suspicions about some people. Story 12. Through history, I genuinely believe that there have been things discovered in the past that tell a different story of the past and are intentionally hidden. Opinion. Well, History is written by winners after all. Story 13. How much wealth is making major political decisions rather than democracy? Either that or how much the planet is already effed from climate change. Opinion. I'm pretty sure the one talking about the wealth isn't a secret at all. Story 14. We've already made alien contact and they want nothing to do with us. Opinion. I've thought the same thing. The aliens check in on us from time to time and think, nope, they're still completely nuts. Story 15. That scientists have already cracked the biological reversal of the process of aging. The planetary systems cannot handle a situation where people would now live 300 years in terms of space, food supply, and economy. So it's being shelved. Opinion. I can't help but wonder if some of the people responding to this dread are under the influence of something. Story 16. That nothing matters. You are a speck of dust in the universe. Nothing you do matters. We're all walking piles of goop held together by bones and flesh. People make up governments and religions so that we don't spend our entire lives feeling hopeless. Opinion. Or maybe it's the opposite. Every speck of dust matters and is accounted for. I think you've been led to believe you only matter if you achieve something greater. What if you're enough just by being here, simply as you are? What if that's all that's expected of you? Story 17. That the richest and most powerful are fully aware of the global devastation coming from climate change and are prepared for it. Opinion. I think it's pretty obvious. They might not be aware of it, but they would be the most prepared for it for sure. Story 18. We have many resources to make the world a better place. Clean energy, affordable housing, food, etc. But we don't because capitalists want stonks. 3D printers existed in the 20th century. I don't know from when exactly and I'm too lazy to research it. But it wasn't available to anyone because it was trademarked. Battery cars were also a thing back then, but weren't manufactured because of capitalists. See-through solar panels have existed since before 2014, but again, no one uses them. If rich people donated the same amount of money they did to rebuild Notre Dame, we could clean the oceans. I could go all day with this. Opinion. To be fair, electric cars have been around for a long time, but with poor battery life. They couldn't compete with combustion engines. As for other issues, I doubt the answers to the world's problems are just capitalism is bad. Story 19. I guess this isn't a secret, but humanity seems to forget quite often. There is next to no privacy in modern age. If you're reading this, your information, search histories, shopping trends, personal connections, etc. are currently being monitored and sold in the information trade. Facebook does not give a F about your aunt's pie recipes, but they will be the first ones to start advertising the ingredients. Opinion. It's surprising how easily people overlook the lack of privacy today. Our data is constantly tracked and sold, and most don't even realize it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and activate the bell button to receive notifications to my latest videos.